Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Melbourne vs Carlton game, the first game of the bye rounds in round 12, going through who went well, who didn't go so well, and sort of how not really how my plans are shaping up, as these two teams don't really matter too much, but just to look at how some players, I guess, failed in this really badly, how we got some rookies do really well. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, Petrarca went nuts. So 118, had a slow third, second and third, but then came out in the first and the fourth and scored 74 in those two quarters. So ended up a 118. Could have probably ended up a good, or I'd say maybe a 130 or so if you really wanted to, but in such a low scoring game with just a 118 and then a 111 and then the rest below 90, you're going to take that. This is what happened this whole bye round, basically. Premiums, underplaying, etc. and stuff like that. I even got hit by that with McPherson, and really wish I had gotten him to someone else rather than actually having him, as he's been a fail, to be honest. But I'm going to get out of him quickly, get to probably Jackson and move on from that. But taking Petrarca's 118 has been really good, as there was just looking at this, Walsh went 55. So yeah, Petrarca 118, great. Brayshaw. The only problem with Petrarca now is that Oliver's coming back, basically, so we need to think about that, and I got Keys in the end, and he really worked, so I get to see these two for another round, and if Keys is getting the time again next round, I might be keeping Keys and getting rid of Petrarca, as Keys can just jump quickly. He's probably going to have a 0 break-even Keys, so he could easily put up another 120 score, jump up another 85k, and then he'll be at roughly, probably we're looking at around 700k with almost a negative break even, and then he's just going to jump up quickly. And so I think that's sort of the plan at the moment, is just to watch these two, and if Keys is getting that full-time mid-roll back again, or that even similar to what Petrarca is getting, in that what Petrarca was getting earlier with that sort of 60% in the midfield and 40% up forward, if Keys is sort of that 60% midfield, we are absolutely fine with Keys. Brayshaw 89, and that will force me to trade out Petrarca, and I can get Petrarca to the likes of I don't even know, there's so many 900k midfielders here. If we look here, and it also, with Keys, it gives me the chance to chuck him into the forward line, helping for that round 15 game week. So we have the likes of, I could be getting even Warner, if Warner would be a little bit risky, because I think I want to get Warner from the likes of a Will Day or something, as I got Noah Long here as well. I could be getting, I don't want any of these guys really. Rowell, I think, is a little bit too risky. He scored a 73. Noah Anderson, Bolton. Kelly, what did he get? A 112, so could get him, but he's around 14, so it would be off the round 15 guys that you get him. If I go to round 3 round averages, so we're talking about off of Petrarca here, so off of Petrarca, so Sarong's certainly a guy there. Could we be looking at, no one else here really screams out at the moment. I hope that this probably isn't big enough. There we go. No one else is really screaming out at the moment saying pick me, but I mean, we'll wait and see, I guess. But there isn't much in the earlier bye rounds. Obviously this isn't set up for the like Freo or anything like that. If we look at Sydney, 3 round averages, you've got Warner basically, and that's it. Any defenders? Just Sydney, not really. St Kilda defenders, midfielders, I could be looking at Steele, as he's gone 91 last 3. He did have a 78, but I think he picks it up sometime. He's going to pick it up again, so I think you could jump on him at this price, but then also look at his break even. as if we look here, Steele, I'm sure he's going to be up here. 124 break even. I think if you can get him at 850k or whatever, I think that's a fair price. No one else here really that I like. Defenders wise, it's just Sinclair, and I'm not really certain on Sinclair. Yes, he's gone 98 last 3, but that did include a 141. Then we move over to Brisbane defenders: Rich, Rayner, Coleman. No one there really. And then you move over to midfielders, and you could get Neil. Neil actually probably is the choice that I'll go, as I think he started to figure out how to play in the Brisbane midfield, and he's starting to pick it up a gear. So I think that'll be a risk that I'm willing to take. And Neil has, I'm pretty sure, got a relatively stable break even of 94, so he could easily creep up cash as well. 829k. McCluggage actually doing pretty well, to be honest with you. 80 overall for he dropped to 58. And defender wise, there's no one. And then we move finally over to, I didn't do Freo, and Freo defenders wise, I'm probably going to get in Young for Day. And then midfielder wise, you got the likes of Sarong, Brayshaw, O'Meara, and I'll have to look and see, but I think it's for me going to be the likes of a McPherson, Day, and someone else. I think I can hold Whitfield because he has pretty easy opponents. Yeah, I can hold Whitfield. So it'll be a McPherson, Day, and probably even just moving on a Rosie quickly. Yes, it probably doesn't look the greatest plan, but moving on a Rosie, I think at this point could actually help me out, as it will help me keep my players that are outgoing very low. So I think that's going to be the plan, but I've spoken a lot for not many. I'm only on the second player, and that's 7 minutes in. So Fritsch 88, Gawn 87, got up really quickly very early, but then sort of just died down a little bit. Langdon, Rivers, Chandler was up very, very early and then died away. Yeah, as you can see here, he had something like 4 tackles for 4 marks at halftime or something like that. Ended up, I think, around 5-5. So that's where he got a lot of his points. Van Rooyen, 87, and these two, as well as McVee here, who I actually saw had a really good game, to be honest. Those 3 really sort of killed me from going up for 4K, 5K ranks, to be honest with you. I'm up at the moment to 5.1k, and I think I'm roughly even with a lot of people on games on players like played, so I'm not willing to risk a 114 from Dacos for Tim Taranto's score, as yes, his lower score is a 109, but you got to take a 114 at this stage, to be honest. And with all the carnage, especially with like Laird not scoring well, etc., I think taking Dacos' 114 is probably good, considering that Dacos was like 4 or 5 marks away from absolutely blitzing this game and taking a 130 plus score. He only had 1 mark in that game and still got a 114, so I'm going to take that. Then you have May, Salem, Viney. Salem I thought was pretty good early, but it doesn't seem like he got the marks and stuff like that to really kick up to a good score. Viney, Lever, McVee, Hunter, Neil Bullen, Bowie got subbed out with an injury. Grundy didn't have a good game, to be honest. Sparrow, Spargo, Tomlinson, Pickett, Smith and Harms, nothing there. And then you got Chera here, who had what seems to be a decent game, a 111. And just a good all-round game from him. McGovern, 87. Doherty, 87. Doherty just got constantly rejected by Carlton players, and that's why they lost. Well, there was other reasons why they lost, but one of the reasons was them not going through Doherty more, to be honest. Mackay actually had a decent game, to be honest. Akers and then Kemp was really good, just in terms of the actual game, but he's not going to be a fantasy guy, I don't think. Weeder and Cripps, again, just another disappointing effort from him. Kennedy, I don't know if he got injured. I think he did. De Koning had an alright game. Kerno, Sard, a 56 from Sard at 620k. He's been a roller coaster this year, to be honest. Then you have Walsh here, and this was pretty bad from Walsh. He ended up with like 22 touches, but gave away, I think, a couple of did he give away a free kick? One free kick, two free kicks. He gave away 2 free kicks, it looks like, in the end, and that would have got him up to 61. So it's probably going to be some people's. Some people might have to have that 55 played. Like a 55, I think, would play for me with Mullins and McPherson scores. But yeah, this was a round that I could have really gone and scored 2100, to be honest with you. If I had if McPherson is changed out for Butters and I had Mitchell play, I could have honestly gotten and had the likes of Noah Long and Mullins and Atkins be my low scores and take a 70 or odd as my lowest. That was sort of what I thought would happen. But McPherson decided in the wet to not do anything, so I'm trading him out as he's going to have like a 130 break-even post-buy or something, 140 break-even, and that's just not doable, to be honest. And I can get to Jackson, who has a break-even of 62, which isn't the greatest, but obviously if we go to forwards and we go to all clubs, 3-round average, you go here and you see you're looking for Jackson 92, and even without, if you just take this Geelong game out and you look at his L5, just look at his L5 normally, it's 90, and you take that Geelong game as well as you have this 59 as well against Brisbane, another tough ruck matchup. He did score the best, and he's got Richmond, which will be a tough ruck matchup, to be honest. Then he's got the Giants, who I think is still giving up points. Then he's got Essendon, Bulldogs, etc. And I think Darcy's probably going to return for the Bulldogs game, also maybe for the Carlton game. So hopefully that gives us enough time for Jackson to get up to 800k or so, I think, or 850 or so k, and then you can trade him out for another forward, such as like a McRae or something like that. And then you've got no one else here really, so we talked about Walsh, Cottrell, no one else here really. Cincotta 39, I thought he was gonna, when I saw this mark here, I thought, oh no, he's gonna get a 70 here, but ended up on a 39, and that's perfect for me, a non-owner. Yes, he did just barely beat his break-even, but that break-even is going to skyrocket now. If we look at Cincotta here, Cincotta 45 L3, and yeah, just a 22 followed by a 39. He gets these 3 scores start to diminish a lot more, and the 22 sort of combined with the 39 is mean that he's going to have a break even of probably 50-55 and really start to rocket up. I think the same can almost be said about Atkins, to be honest with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 102 falls out of a rotation for a 66, but the 66 sort of counters out the 30 going down a little bit in the order. So I think his break even is probably going to be like 75 or so, 80 again. So I might start losing a little bit of cash on Atkins, but Atkins has the buy and then has dry conditions, so I think he'll be fine. And then, yeah, they had a couple of other injuries as well. Silvani, so I think Cripps might have even ended up in the... Did he end up in the ruck? No, he didn't have to do any ruck work, it doesn't look like. Was it just De Koning the whole time? I don't know who ended up doing any ruck work. McGovern, maybe? No. Just trying to see, did they just go with... trying to look, but I'm seeing no one else doing any ruck work at all. Obviously, those guys wouldn't. Young, maybe? No. Motlop, no. Lockie O'Brien obviously wouldn't. Paddy Dow's too small. So they just went with De Koning in the whole last quarter. So probably Carlton will debut someone now that Silvani's also injured. So I did miss the boat with going Ramsden. I probably should have changed Ramsden to another guy. Now that Hawthorn are played, I probably should have tried to just wait it out, etc. But I wouldn't have known, to be honest. It would have been a split-second decision, and it could still go wrong. Whereas Ramsden could play in the end, but I guess we'll never know. You never really know except for hindsight. But yeah, so that's the video. A very long-winded video of the Melbourne vs Carlton game review. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.